Hi guys. I'll be reviewing the trade that we placed last week. So we started with GBPAUD. I will be talking what really happened last week and the tricks that happened in the market. So I was looking at GBPAUD to come and test the third touch of the trend line. But I think the third touch of the trend line, the market did refuse to come and touch the third touch of the trend line. So if we will go to our monthly time frame, like we see last week, this candle was bearish. So we'll come to our weekly time frame. Our weekly time frame, look at the level that I was expecting the market to come and tap, at least to come and tap this third touch of the trend line, but the market failed to do that. So in this trade, we did not take this trade because the trade did not come down to tag us in. So I'll be looking to take this trade for next week. We have the base that just formed around this place. Then we'll go to our daily time frame. What's happening on our daily time frame as of today? There is a push up significantly. Remember that the daily time frame was giving us a double bottom. If you watch the previous video of mine, you're going to see that I explained that the daily time frame was actually giving us a double bottom, a triple bottom actually, one, two, and this is the third bottom around this area. So the market pushed up significantly, and then on the 4 hour time frame, let's come back to the 4 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, it was also giving us a clear chart pattern here, which is this. This is the head, this is the shoulder, and this is the other shoulder. So I was supposed to take this trade market execution, but I was thinking that the market is going to drop for the third touch of the trend line, which it did not drop for the third touch of the trend line. So what am I going to do? I have missed this trade already on GBPAUD. So what next am I going to be looking at? I'm going to be looking at taking the trade next week, which I'm going to analyze for next week. So I'm expecting a pull back to this area, then a continuation to the upside. So what have I learned? What is the trick that I've learned in this situation? What I've learned in this situation is if you see a chart pattern, if you see a confirmed information that everything is pointing to the upside, I think you should just take the trade, because in GBPAUD, I actually saw that this is an inverse, a daily triple bottom, inverse head and shoulder pattern 4 hour time frame clear, and also 1 hour inverse head and shoulder pattern. So everything was looking good. So I just thought that maybe it's going to touch for the third touch of the trend line. So next time, if I just see a clear chart pattern like this and everything is looking good from the weekly to the daily to the 4 hour and 1 hour, I think I should take the trade. Then the next pair I'm going to review is Euro GDP. Euro GDP, on the other hand, is quite giving an interesting look for this week, because on Euro GDP, remember, we'll come to a monthly time frame. This is what we were looking at. That price is going to test this area, then push back up. So we'll come back to our weekly time frame. On our weekly time frame, as of last week, we had a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern. This is quite clear and this is quite clean. So I come back to this is also looking like a correction. We have a push up and a correction. We have a push up and a correction as well. We have a push up and a correction as well. This one is looking clean. This one was actually a pending order, which I did enter this trade as of last week. I did enter this trade as of last week. So remember that I was telling you as of last week that place the entrance here and take your first level target to be around this area. So this is where I marked out the first level target around this area. You can watch the previous video that I talked about the details about this pair. So what I did was I saw on the 4 hour time frame. When we go to the 4 hour time frame, I saw on the 4 hour time frame when this market tagged me in, push up to this area. I saw this market. I took my first take profit around this area. I saw that the market has already created a double top around this area after I take out my first profit. So I moved my stop loss to break even because this is a double top. Although if you look at it properly, this is an inverse head and shoulder pattern like this in this area. And this as well is supposed to be the left shoulder around this area. So I was thinking, my mindset as of during the week was that if this market wants to continue to go up, I don't see any reason why it should give a double top around this area. This is supposed to be enough and to push the market upwards. But the market failed in this area and dropped down significantly. So I took my first take profit around this area. Then I moved my stop loss to break even. So the market came back downward and took me out for past break even 20% profit in this trade. So I was looking to enter the trade because my rule is this. Before I'm going to, as long as the market has taken me out for a break even or 20% profit, before I'm going to take the trade, I will put a trend line at the top of the candle where my take profit is. Market, the price needs to come back and break that level again and retest that level before I'm going to take the position. Look at it. Previously, I drew my my entrance around this area. So what I was looking at is for me to take this trade again for the second time. But market came back up, test this level, and still fail again for the second time. So I just allowed the trade to be in this situation. My lesson in this one is anytime that you see an inverse head and shoulder pattern that is that the right shoulder is lower than the left shoulder, it's always problematic. I don't know why. The one that I like to take is the one that is significantly higher than the left shoulder, then pull back. I like that one better, or equal neckline. I like that one better compared to the one that is lower. This one normally gives a lot of problem. I don't know, from my experience so far. So I am looking for, before I'm going to take this trade for a buy again, I'm looking for price to come back and break the neckline before I'm going to take this trade for a buy. Then the next one we're going to be looking at is BTC on the other hand. BTC is quite significant as well. We came to the monthly time frame. Of course, we were looking at the price has tested for the third touch of the trend line around this area. This area is still a very sensitive zone actually for this market because this is still the third touch of the trend line region. So I come back to my weekly time frame. I took a sell on this trade towards the downside. So on the daily time frame as well, look at what is happening on the daily time frame. I can see a significant correction around this area. The market push back, push up, push back, push up. Why is this market correcting and struggling around this region? It's because there is a trend line, the third touch of the trend line on the monthly time frame around this area. So if you check, that's why the market is struggling to push back downwards. So I was expecting the market to come to this area, but it has not happened yet. It's still on the process. But let's see what this market is going to do around this area. But, I'm expecting a base around this area because this market, the way that this market dropped from this region, I'm not expecting this market to push the market downward. I'm expecting a base for a continuation to the upside. That's my take on BTC as of the moment. Then we'll move on to the next pair, which is EURUSD. EURUSD is quite clean and it's quite clear. We looked at EURUSD for a continuation to the upside. If you check my previous videos there as well, we came to the monthly time frame. Everything is looking bullish. Everything on the monthly time frame is looking bullish as of the moment. So We're just looking for a pullback. Remember, this is the major zone. You just map out your map, but this is the double top that dropped the market downward. I was looking at this as an inverse head and shoulder pattern to go up, but it failed. It formed a double top around this region and push back downwards for a head, then a continuation. So I was expecting that this market is going to come back to the neckline, because on a normal day, from my experience, what I've seen so far is if we have an inverse head and shoulder pattern like this, and the neckline has been broken significantly, price normally come back to test the neckline, not the shoulder region. So I was expecting for price to come and test the neckline region, but it has not yet happened, and it looks like it's failing to do that. So if I come back to my weekly time frame, on the weekly time frame, however, I'm seeing a double bottom around this area. This is what I'm working with as of the moment, because this double top has been invalidated already. So, and this neckline has been broken. So I'm looking at the double bottom around this area. If I come back to my daily time frame, although the weekly time frame for Euro USD is looking bearish as of the moment, but I think if I come back to my daily time frame is actually giving me a nice price action that I can see. I can see a high, I can see a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. I'm expecting a push, a continuation to the upside. This one is looking clear. This one is looking nice. Remember last week, the price was here. I was saying, do not trade, because this could actually be a head, a left shoulder, and a right shoulder for a drop downward. But from the monthly time frame, I don't think that is going to be visible. But you cannot leave anything out of the market. So what I'm giving Euro USD, I'm giving Euro USD to push up to the upside 80%. 80% bullish and 20% bearish. The only time I'm going to be considering bearish is when we have a total break of this counter trend line. This is looking good. This is looking clear. I'm going to check DXY. What is DXY doing? Remember the last time we also talked about DXY. So what is the DXY? Is just Euro USD inverted. So we'll come back to monthly time frame. Remember, I was looking at the double top around this region, because this trend line, this ascending trend line that was pushing upwards, is actually, for now, is actually invalidated to me as of the moment, because I could see a monthly time frame double top. This is what I'm working with. I'm working with the present price action that I can see at the moment. So I can see on the weekly time frame for DXY, I could see a triple top around this region. I could see a break of the neckline already. I'm seeing a retest. I'm seeing a retest of the neckline of this neckline region. So I'll come back to my daily time frame. What am I seeing on the daily time frame? Working with what I'm seeing on the daily time frame as of the moment. I'm seeing a double top around this area. I see a break of the neckline. I see a retest. I'm also seeing a retest of structure. This is a structural region around the neckline, the weekly neckline region. So what I'm looking on DXY is just the same Euro USD inverted. I'm just looking for price to come and test structural region around this area for a continuation to the downside. So this is DXY and Euro. They're looking the same. They're looking alike, which I like as of the moment. Then I'm going to come to GBPJPY. GBPJPY, on the other hand, I looked, everything on the monthly time frame was looking good. And I was expecting a pullback around this area, which I'm still expecting as of the moment, because this is actually the top. I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback before the continuation to the upside. I'm still favoring, I still have a favor to the downside a little bit before the continuation to the upside, because if you see the break of the candle close region at the monthly time frame, if you see, this is the candle close region, and if you check the weekly time frame, there was a push back downward. So if you look at this pairs very critically, you're going to see that this pull up is already I think the pullback is already required at this point because this has already pushed up significantly. And if you see this push up, if you see the pullback, if you see this push up, there's supposed to be, it has pushed up enough already. There's supposed to be a pullback around this region for a continuation to the upside. And if you also check, this is actually a double top. This is the week. This is the week. You're also going to consider, if you consider the candle close, you're also going to consider the week of the candle as well. When you come to the daily time frame, it's kind of looking like consolidative, kind of at the moment, consolidative to the upside. You remember I talked about that this market last week can go through this pattern, this same pattern as well to continue to the upside. It's not going to be surprising to me, but I'm going to be watching, I'm going to be waiting, I'm going to see what price is going to do. As long as we have a clear break of this place, then we have a continuation to the upside. But kind of I'm still favoring a push back downward before the continuation to the upside. So the next pair I'm going to be looking at as of the moment is US30. US30 on the other hand is quite good. I explained US30 as of last week, what I was looking at for US30. On the monthly time frame, it was looking good as well. We have a correction, we have a push, we have a correction, we have a push, and I'm expecting US30 to get to 5K region before a significant correction. So when we come back to our weekly time frame, on the other hand, our weekly time frame is looking bearish as of the moment, which I did say last week. As of the moment, I did predicted last week for a push to the downside, which the weekly candle is presently doing, because the two minor level that I drew as of last week has already been broken. So I'm expecting the market to pull back a little bit towards the downside for a retest around this region before a continuation to the upside. So maybe I could take a sell position in this US30 as next week. I'm not sure. I'm going to analyze and give a feedback next week for if we're going to take a sell. But US30 is looking good for a buy. I like buying US30. Then GBPUSD, on the other hand, we're going to be considering GBPUSD as of the moment. On the monthly time frame on GBPUSD, we had a push up, a correction, a push up. Then on the weekly time frame, on the other hand, we are looking bullish as of the moment, but this is not it's not quite strong. I'm still looking for a retest because of this area. It's a very strong region around this side. This is the region that pushed this market downward, and you can also look at this area, the drop. You can see this area, there was a drop around this region. So it's not going to be surprising. I'm still expecting this is an indecision candle. If you come to the daily time frame, however, you can see that there is a significant consolidation going on around this region. A significant consolidation. So I'm still expecting that the market can easily drop to this region before a continuation to the upside. And if you also watch, this could be a head, this could be a left shoulder, then this could be a right shoulder for a continuation to the upside. So these are the principles of price action that I'm counting on. Remember last week I said there is no trade on GBPUSD. So I'm expecting a drop because this pattern is just screaming to me that the market is exhausted already. So if I'm saying something like this, I'm just saying like the market is going to push back, relax for a continuation to the upside. Then the last pair that I'm going to be looking at is US oil. US oil is still, in fact, until next year before I'm going to be talking about US oil. So this is what I've noticed in the market as of this present week. This is Friday already as of this present week. So next week we're going to be looking at what trade are we going to place for next week or per week. So we're going to be looking at what trade are we going to place next week. So next week I'm going to be doing another analysis on what we're going to do what trade are we going to place next week, and what chart are we going to be looking at next week.